Well, good morning everyone. It's raining and it's a little chilly, but we're ready for the day. Had a really good stay here at the Cruz de Caminos albergue, comfortable single bed, and had a reasonable night's sleep. I've got a bad back. Back is hurting this morning, so put some rub on it and taken some pills. Hopefully it's not going to cause too much of a problem. Just a little bit of pain in the lower back, just because of the bag, I think. So let's see how we get on. Anyway, we are going to Pedrouzo today, which is the last stop before we get to Santiago de Compostela. Okay, so a little scary moment this morning. Suddenly realised just as we were about to leave, I haven't got my wallet. Couldn't find it in the bag or in this pouch. So started looking around the albergue and found it behind the desk in the albergue. I'd left it out last night after cooking the meal. So very grateful for whoever found it and put it somewhere securely. And gives me lots of faith in the people on Camino, and also grateful to God for looking after me in that way. But it really does show as a good example of the kind of way that everybody, although we don't necessarily know each other, we sort of work as a team on Camino. People are very kind, people share items, want to make sure that everyone has what they need, and there's a lovely kind of Camino spirit, which is great. So scary moment, but quickly sorted out, thankfully. So Cody this morning looks a little bit like an eco-friendly Darth Vader. On a traffic jam. Quite colourful. Just walked with three really lovely Spanish teenagers from San Sebastian who are on this trip. They just stopped back there, so we've carried on. But really lovely people, and just chatting about what they want to do in life, and they're asking me all sorts of questions about my life and England. Really super respectful. They've just passed their exams and they're having an end of term school trip, and being from San Sebastian, the conversation quickly turned to Mikel Arteta, who is from San Sebastian. Oh, Man Pistachio, which means in Welsh that it's very Welsh weather. I can hear something, but I can't see where it's coming from. Let's go and have a look. just arriving in Opino or Pedrouzo, which is our last stop before Santiago. So it's been a challenging day today because of the bad back, but Cody gave me one of his South Korean painkillers. Worked a treat, no idea what it was. Worked a treat. Was a genuine painkiller, promise. And that got me through it today. And it's, what is it? It's 20 to 1. So nice and early. Good walk down here. Time to go and get showered up. Goodbye. We just said goodbye to Antonia. So she's heading to Santiago and then getting out of there early tomorrow, so we won't see her. It's beginning to get to that time where we won't see others again, and that's all a little bit emotional. So having walked with people for such a long time and journeyed together, it's quite a moment. How are things going for you in your life? Do you feel like your life is a fruitful and good place and that you have fullness of life? Or do you feel like you're sometimes a bit contained? Over these last 5 weeks, it has been so refreshing to be away and to bring things back down to simplicity. And yet that in that simplicity, it's felt like there's been a real fullness in life. Meeting people, building friendships, looking at nature and seeing the beauty that there is in that in so many different ways and different landscapes and different flowers, and enjoying just having a simple life where in the morning we get up and walk, and then we arrive and we do a couple of chores, and then there's time to think and reflect and appreciate life. One of the reasons for coming away on this trip was to retreat, to get away, to be with Jesus, and I've been able to do just that, which has been fantastic, and there has been a fullness and a joy in doing those things. We read in the Bible that Jesus came that we might have life, the fullness of life, that we might have life and have it to the full, we read. What does that really mean for us? Fullness of life. We look for fullness in all sorts of different places, often the wrong places, expecting things in our Western culture to satisfy us when it just doesn't happen in that way. Reading this great book, Practicing the Way by John Mark Comer, he talks about this fullness of life that we find when we set our hearts upon being apprentices of Jesus and practicing his ways, his way, his truth, his life, and that his life is just that fullness. Do we enter into that? Do we practice his way, know his truth, and then accept that life? One of the things that I get from reading this book that I'm thoroughly enjoying is the fullness of life, of eternal life, doesn't just start when you die. Eternal life doesn't just start when you die, but when you choose to practice the ways of Jesus. Yes, being with Jesus in that better place will feel incredibly full. But we don't need to wait until then. We can practice his life, enter into his life, be with him right now in this moment while we're here on earth and the challenges of being here in this place. So I'd encourage you to think about that, entering into his life, his way, his path, his journey, and the fullness of it that he intends for our lives, and that is meant to be eternal, forever. Yeah, a time will come when the complete fullness will be ours, but we don't need to wait until that point. We can accept and appreciate and rejoice in the fullness of God today. I leave with you those thoughts to reflect upon. I hope they are words that resound in your heart. Let's embrace God's fullness. Tomorrow, I head down to Santiago to complete the walk, the Camino de Santiago. and to appreciate all that this has meant over these last weeks. And as I do, I will be giving thanks and holding on to some new thoughts, some new ways, some new understanding that God has given me on this journey. Buen camino.